Marathon.
Hey guys, welcome to Deep in Love. Tonight we have Mclinn. He is an actor and motivational speaker from Inglewood, California.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you talk about yourself because people always do that better.
I
Just
mean,
introduce yourself.
hi, I'm Brooklyn Mclinn, and like she just said, I'm from Inglewood, California, and I'm here. I'm here to have a great conversation about all your questions and all your concerns and all the things that you would like to know about.
Tell us what you do for fun, hobbies, stuff like that.
I like to read an unusual amount. I like YouTube. I like to surf the internet an unusual amount. I just like information. That's what I do for fun. Travel. Um, Recently went to Egypt and Nigeria and Belize and Honduras and all of it just to fact find and learn more about myself and the world that we live
I'm jealous. I'd love to be in Egypt one of these
in.
days. You said, okay, so we know you're an actor. Can you
Yes.
tell us how long you've been acting, what you've been in?
I've been professionally acting for 15 years. Currently, I recur on a TV show called Parenthood, comes on NBC with Dak Shepard and Joy Bryant and Peter Krause. I've done a lot of stuff, done a lot of commercials. Um, I just booked a role on a TV show called Shameless. I don't know if anybody's aware of that. It comes on Showtime with um, what's my man's name? I want to say Peter Gallagher, but it's not his name. But it's a funny hour drama, dramedy show on Showtime. So yeah, but I mean, you can Google my name. I don't like talking about acting stuff because I mean, it's like, yeah, it's there. I've done it, and I'm gonna keep doing it.
Well, okay, what are your long-term goals?
As far as what?
But I mean, do you want to continue to act? Is that what you want to do as a
Absolutely.
day job? Okay.
That is my day job.
But I mean, is that what you want to continue to do?
Absolutely. It's interesting. I've actually thought about the fact that I don't really have any long term. I'm literally like moment to moment, day to day, depending on how I feel.
But I Googled you, and I know you want to live in New York.
Where did you get that from? That it said that I said I want to live in New York.
Yep, it was on an interview for.
Not that I wouldn't live in New York,
It
but
was
it's
on
not
an
like
interview.
I'm packed, with my stuff by the door.
Yeah, you said your long-term goals are to be living in New York.
I need to look that up. I say a lot of stuff, y'all.
I guess
Half
so.
of it I don't even remember. I lived in New York for 3 months last year, and it was a great experience and taught me, even more about myself. So that's what I do. Like my long-term goals are just to have fun, be happy, follow my joy, my bliss, learn, meet people, have like that's is it I want to make a certain amount of money, I need to be winning an Oscar, like I don't those things are great and I have aspirations to do those, but those are not motivating forces for why I do what I do. So um, my ultimate goal is just to continue to be of service to people and gain information and then go share it. Like that's fun to me.
Nice. Well, let's get some advice, guys. Okay, so before we get started, there is a term that we get thrown around. I'm familiar with it, you're familiar with it, and it's called the law of attraction.
Yes.
So before we get started, would you mind briefly telling us what that is? So those who have never heard the term before, how would you introduce the law of attraction?
Well, for those who aren't aware, the law of attraction is just one of many laws of the universe. So there are a lot of them. There are like 12 main ones, but the law of attraction basically says what is like into itself attracts. So if you are positivity, if you're a positive person, you will attract more positivity. If you're a negative person, you will attract negative things. So it's literally moment to moment. Like, so as a kid, I used to always wonder, like, why bad people were being blessed and had things, you know, and I'm saying had things as a kid, like a nice car or money or clothes or jewelry. And it's because like you're driving this particular vehicle, like it doesn't really, you know what I mean? Like it's not as complex as we've been led to believe. It's like if you do certain things come back. You know, your thoughts dictate your reality. Your thoughts create. I mean, we've heard all of this stuff before, but literally, the law of attraction in layman's terms is what is like into itself comes to it. So we live in an energetic world um, where everything is energy, everything is vibration, everything is moving. So the energy that you give off is what you're going to get back. I mean, that's as simple as I can explain.
So I'm going to throw a really hard question in
Okay.
there right off the bat then. Okay, so one of our followers asked if you could talk about the law of attraction in regards to genocide and cancer and starving kids.
Okay, so on a superficial level, yes, that is a head scratcher, right? Like why, like what did a little baby do to attract whatever ails it? If it's cancer, if it's, you know, get caught up in a drive-by shooting, or why do masses of people are, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot going on in the world. Um, my understanding is, and primarily from my travels to Egypt, like I went to Egypt to study Egyptian mysticism for 2 weeks. So I went to mystery school, and I had experiences out there that weren't of this dimension, right? So as crazy as that sounds, and everybody's like, what? Huh? You're crazy, you're loony, but it's like I had these experiences, and my understanding of why we're here is greater than what we see perpetuated on TV and the images that we see and what's on the radio or the movie screen. Um, so my understanding is that we choose to come here, right? So we're not, you know, our parents had decided to have a baby and then we came. It's like we're non-physical beings and we're in this universe, in this realm, and we decide to come here to have a physical experience. So who knows why we're choosing to come here to experience whatever we are. Some people come to experience certain diseases, certain things that we wouldn't consider fun, but that being, that spirit chose to come here to experience that because we knew we need to remember that this is not it. This is not this one life that we're living. Like energy can never be extinguished. Once energy is created, it can never go away. So once we perish out of these physical bodies, and this is just a vehicle, once we have no more use for this vehicle, we enter back into non-physical, and then we decide if we want to come back again. So I know that's not like as direct of an answer as most people looking for. We're looking for something concrete, black and white, but it's just so much larger and greater than what we've come to know. But it's not, the baby is not a victim the way it appears to be. The baby is 100% pure, positive, spiritual being and knows exactly why it came here. We just got disconnected from it.
So how could we transition that into words of encouragement to those who have either come into this world with severe handicaps, mental illnesses, or awful living situations like being molested or environment issues?
So everything that we're dealing with is an opportunity to overcome. We've all seen it. We've seen videos and footage of, actually I saw one not too long ago, the guy had no arms and no legs. And he's like a motivational speaker. And he's on one of Oprah's shows, and the dude is like sitting in the chair, he hops out the chair, and he's climbing the steps with no arms and no legs. And it's like everything that's happening to us is an opportunity to show that we're not limited to these bodies that we have. So every time somebody with a handicap overcomes, every time somebody who didn't have and then had again is an opportunity to show other people that no matter what your circumstance is, you can overcome. We've seen, in the Olympics, people with no legs get prosthetics and run races. We've seen people in severe car accidents have their face smashed in and get reconstructive surgery. And then everything that's happening to us is an opportunity to show everybody else that you're so much more powerful than we appear to be. So, you know, that's the best way I can say. I just kind of believe that everything happens for a reason. Like everything is working for my behalf. Everything that I see is an opportunity for me to learn something, or something that I went through is an opportunity for me to overcome, to go and share with people that experience, to say, you too can do it.
Okay, so that kind of transitions into this next question. And
Okay.
so I recently posted a video that says the universe has your back.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can believe that and then go out and do whatever you desire to do. And then I said sometimes a door closes for us so that a bigger one can open. As in, we may not know what that new door is to open, but if we can believe that that door is closing for the better one to open, that'll help us. Someone posted, well, that seems so hard. I feel like the universe is always saying, F you.
That's funny. And not laughing at you, laughing with you. Yeah, no, I once thought that. But it's because of how we've been programmed and how we've been indoctrinated to believe there's not enough. So, oh, there's a recession. Oh, there's a water drought. Oh, there's all of these things that are going on to make us feel like there's lack, scarcity, lack of abundance. When the truth is the opposite. There is enough. There is enough for everybody, but it's an attitude. It's a belief that you have to carry. So I was one who used to think that, when the door was slammed in my face, that there was something wrong with me. And I would bang on the door, please let me in, let me in. I deserve to be in this room. But I didn't understand, because once again, the universal laws, there's a universal law of polarity. Which means that everything has an opposite. There's a universal law of correspondence, which means as above, so below. So if it's happening on one end, it has to be happening on the other end. So one door wouldn't close without another door opening, because the world has to be in balance, right? So we don't have to try to rid the world of negativity. The world needs negativity to balance out the positivity. It's just, what are you going to focus your attention on? So are you going to focus your attention on the fact that the door slammed in your face, or the fact that there's another door opening that's probably a better situation than what you were trying to do? So that's basically what Arielle was saying. So if the universe has your back, or like I say, everything works out for my benefit, then when the door slams in my face, I go, okay, thank you. Let me turn around and go, oh, where's the other door that's opening? Because by law, universal law states that if one door closes, another door has to open. It has to balance itself out. But if we don't turn around and look for the open door, it will appear to be that every door closes in our face. So
I actually had a dear friend that a door was closing,
mm-hmm.
and she said, well, it still sucks. And I said, yeah, sure. Yeah. So kick it, scream at it, punch at it, cry, do what you have to do. That's okay. And then you get up to look for the other door. I'm not saying the door closing is easy, or that it's easier, per se.
It can.
Kick at it and scream at it and not like it. But the less time you focus on that aspect and turn your attention to looking for the new one, then the sooner you can pass through and get to the new door.
Yeah, no, you could do that if you want to. I've done it. We've all done it. I developed the muscle to go, when the door, as the door is closing, I might already start looking for the other door, because I just get that that's how it works. So yeah, you could stand there and kick and scream at it, and maybe somebody will open the door up because you kicking and screaming at it. But I just go, how does that feel to kick and scream at it? If it feels good to you, then I say do it. If it doesn't feel good to you, then what's the better feeling thought? The better feeling thought for me is, there's another door that's opening. Let me just go over there before that line gets too long. And then I miss that opportunity because I'm standing here begging for this door to be open. So I don't know, man. or I do know, but it's a phrase, it's a figure of speech.
I'm down to let those doors close.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go next one. This one, I tried happiness. I heard it was a choice before.
Mm-hmm.
It worked for a little bit, but then it didn't. I don't know. I know I have a good life, but sometimes it just gets really stressed. So they're saying I tried happiness for a little bit. I laugh because I'm like, there is no try, there's do or don't do, you know. It's like saying I tried eating.
Yeah.
It didn't really work.
I got full one time and then my stomach was empty, so I'm not doing it no more.
Right. Or it's like the law of gravity. I stepped off the building or I stepped off the tree and I fell. You're gonna fall every single time. Yeah. Whether you know. So.
Well, the thing about it is, so the person is right. I don't know if it's a he or she, but happiness is a choice. But where we get caught up is we allow conditions to determine how we feel. So by saying happiness is a choice, it's I'm deciding to feel happy or joyful or blissful no matter what. So no matter what is happening outside of me, that's a choice that I'm going to make, right? Because I believe it's working out for my benefit. Now, you know, we've talked before about life cycles and seasons, and you know, it's like if the sun is up, then I'm going to be happy, right? And then the sun or the earth rotates because it has to, and now the sun appears to go down, and then darkness covers the earth. Now I'm upset because now it's not sunny anymore. But when you understand that it's necessary for both, we need the sun and we need the dark, we need positive and we need negative, then am I still angry that the sun went down? So it's like those things have to happen. The world is the way it is. Life cycles are happening. People live, people die. You know, food grows. We harvest it, we eat it, it's gone. Seasons change, summer, fall, winter, spring, every single year. So it's like happy that it's summer, upset that it's fall and summer's over. It's like, no, you know, summer's coming back again next year. So fall is necessary to cool the earth back down, and then winter and spring and things start to bloom and flower. So it's like all of these things are necessary. So I say that to say, if you're allowing conditions to determine how you feel, yes. When people behave and people are treating you and showing you attention, oh, I'm happy. My boyfriend or my girlfriend is showing me love. I feel great. As soon as they turn their attention away from you, or you lose a job or something doesn't go your way, then I feel bad. You know what? I felt great last week. Now this person is behaving a certain way. I don't feel so good anymore. So you're basically giving your power away, and you're allowing external things to decide how you feel. And we're saying, no, you control how you feel, no matter what's happening. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them, right? They're doing you a favor. If the guy's a butthole, then it's like, no, don't fret and be sad and worry about it. It's like, no, thank you for showing me who you are. Now let me turn my attention to the situation that's not that way. So you can't control conditions. So don't even try. It's going to frustrate you. Control what you can, which is you yourself, and deciding every single day that you're going to follow your joy and you're going to commit to being happy, and intend for your day to be that. Start in the morning. Don't wait until the afternoon or the evening once the momentum of the day done whipped you up and threw you all up against the wall. It's like it's too late. Start in the morning, find some quiet time, decide what your day is going to be, and then no matter what happens, respond to it that way. So
I'm going to take another approach on this.
Okay.
And that was that I chose happiness. She said, I tried happiness before.
Uh-huh.
So, as in I made a choice one day and now I should just be happy.
Right.
No, I say I choose happiness every single day. We all have to wash our hands. Do we wash our hands once and then we're set? No, we have to wash our hands continue right. Multiple times a day. And so it's the same thing with happiness. I choose it. I'm reminding myself constantly. One thing you said about getting your day started, I have trigger points for myself. When I get out of bed, I purposely hit my feet on the ground, and that's my trigger point for I'm choosing happiness. I'm choosing my smile. And then I still might feel like a little sluggish, a little tired. I should have slept longer. I sit down and I do 10 minutes of yoga. I do a vinyasa. And as I lay there, I am reflecting and I am also creating my day. So I lay there for about a few minutes. I'm like, okay, whatever happened during the night, I'm tired, I'm gonna sleep, whatever it is, I am now letting that go, and I'm now purposing a fabulous day. I'm going to get up and I get my momentum going, and then I start my day with yoga, and then I go into a positive podcast. Okay. But the point I'm making is we have to choose the happiness over and over and over and over, and
constantly.
And I know for me, I'm huge on practicality, so I do things that remind myself. Like I have 3 alarms that go off during the day, random times that are just everything is unfolding exactly the way it planned. Or one is I am so happy, I love my life, or aren't I living the good life? So I do things that help trigger those things to help remind me that my happiness is a choice. So it's not something that we choose one time and then expect it to be there weeks, hours, days, months later. That was my approach on that. Another one. Someone said, I wish I could develop the strength and positivity you have. And I replied, oh, but you can. Right. It takes practice. Right. And they said, but how much? I've been like this for 10 years, and I think I've been practicing.
Yeah.
Kind of the same topic.
Well, it's when you know better, you can do better. Oprah says that a lot. She got that from Maya Angelou. But some of us haven't been practicing effectively. I know there was a time I wasn't. So as good as I feel right now, what's interesting is I thought I felt good before. And that's with not eating the best foods, not getting the best sleep. I thought I felt good. And then my brother talked me into eating better, got me to purchase a NutriBullet, and I started juicing my veggies and blending stuff, and I felt incredible. I didn't realize how malnourished my body was. My thinking became clearer, my sleeping got better, and I felt so good that I was like, so what was I feeling like before? I thought I felt good. Like I feel incredible now. So to this person who says that, well, I've been doing it for 10 years, like sometimes that's by definition, insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result.
Right.
So we have to, it's a muscle. You can't go to, she's saying you can't go to the gym one time and expect your body to perform for the rest of your life because you went to the gym once. You have to keep going. You have to develop a muscle until it becomes second nature, and then you just have to maintenance it. You still can't not do anything. So the couple of times that I thought I had it, the universe showed me I didn't. I got put back in a situation, and I responded in a way that I used to, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't trust myself anymore. So every single morning, it's pick a word, find an intention, listen to something in the car, less music on the radio, more videos, more podcasts, at home, less TV, more. It's because I'm trying to develop a sustainable muscle to where all I have to do at that point is just maintenance it. So just be open, be willing to try something new, something different. And I get it, like we're so skeptical in the world because when you turn on your TV, all you see is negative images. And I hate to say it, but it's on purpose. So growth can't happen when you're afraid, when you're fearful. It's an emotional scale. On one end is love, and on the other end is fear. So that's why when you turn on the TV, they bombard you with fear and negativity and war and riots. And this person got murdered and this person got shot, because they know it's going to scare you into not growing and not thinking and not observing and not trying to better yourself. So stop watching it until you can develop a muscle and take control over how you feel. Commit to being joyful and happy, and then if you want to watch those things because you want to be informed, go ahead and do it. But we've been doing it a certain way for so long, so it's like a computer system. We have to reboot and reprogram, get rid of these old feelings and thoughts of not feeling good enough, all of that stuff, and take on this new information. I can't stress it enough. can't stress enough how important it is and how much it will benefit you.
Two examples I had is I always say happiness, positivity, it's a skill. It's like learning to play the piano. You could sit down at the piano and bang on it for 10 years and nothing ever happens. So again, it's all on how. And the other one
and
is
technically you're playing the piano.
exactly. You're still playing it every single day.
It's not well.
Right. Or say that you go to the gym and sit on the treadmill or stand on the treadmill and go and walk for 2 hours, 3 hours every single day, and results don't happen. So it's all about how you do it. You can keep practicing it that way, but it's not working, so let's try a new one.
Yeah.
Here we go. Same kind of thing. I'm trying really, really hard to be positive, but I keep falling back and I'm angry and I'm pissed. Being positive is so hard. Which reminds me of your car analogy.
Oh, well, yeah. I just really believe that it is whatever you say it is. Like, Confucius has the quote, we've all heard it, and the person that says they can and the person that says they can are both usually correct. So if you say it's hard, then yes, it is hard. If you say it's easy, then over time it will become easy. But it's just, you have to care about how you feel more than anything. That has to be the most important thing in your life, because if you feel good, then everything else will emanate from that. You will begin to attract other things. And I'm not even talking about, we've all seen The Secret. I'm not talking about, oh, I'm going to attract $10,000. Because you could, but I'm not even encouraging to do it for those particular things. I'm like, focus on the fact that you just want to be healthier, happier, better relationships, better experiences. Like, money will come because you're doing those things, right? She mentioned the car analogy. It's a lot of us have a certain amount of momentum that's going in a direction. And if you're driving in a car and you're going 100 miles per hour on the freeway and you realize you're going in the wrong direction, if you try to turn the car around immediately, most of us will flip the car over because the car is going too fast in the undesirable direction. What you have to do is slow the car down, get control, figure out the direction that you want to go in, turn the car around, and then pick up and gain momentum going back the other way. Some of us, and then once you develop the muscle for recognizing when you're off center, you can stop on a dime and make an adjustment and quickly turn around. But that's after practice. Like everything she said, most things in life are learned behaviors. If we wanted to be a doctor, we wouldn't just decide and then go operate on somebody. We go to school, we go to medical school, we'd be a resident, intern. If you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a great basketball player, I mean, you have to get in the gym and shoot jump shots and work on your body and work. So it's the same thing with any other skill. So happiness, like she said, is a skill. So it's something that you have to develop. Communication is a skill, something that you have to develop. A friend of mine many years ago sat me down. We were talking about relationships, and he said to me, he wanted to know why I was single. And at that time, I was quick to blame it on the girl. I was like, oh, women are crazy. It's just that simple. And and we use a lot of sports analogies. And I said, it's equivalent to being in preseason or training camp, and it gets too hard, and I'm quitting the team. This is too tough. And he said, that's not what you're doing. And I was like, I don't understand. He goes, what you're doing by being in a relationship with a woman is equivalent to throwing up in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. And I was like, no, I'm not getting that far. Like, it's training camp, and it's too hard. I'm quitting. And he goes, Brooklyn, hear me out. And I said, okay. He goes, you've played basketball. I said, yeah. He said, how many jump shots have you taken? I said, thousands. He said, how many hours of ball handling have you practiced? I said, too many to count. He said, hours in the gym? I said, infinite. It's just too much to even try to add up. He goes, and you did all that before you played the game. So you were prepared. He said, how many relationship classes have you taken? I said, none. He said, how many books on communication have you read? I said, None. He said, he named like a few other things, and all of it was zero. And he goes, how in the hell do you expect to be in a healthy relationship when you don't know how? And I was like, bing, light bulb. I better go do something about it, because the examples that I had seen up until that point were all dysfunctional. My parents, dysfunctional. Um, Sibling relationships, dysfunctional. Friends relationships, dysfunctional. Relationships I saw on TV, dysfunctional. So that was my classroom. But it wasn't producing the result that I was looking for. So I had to go learn how to do it. Like, we can't be afraid to learn how to do it. Like, when we get older, we're so like, ah, oh, that's too much work. Like, oh my God. It's like, no, but we're never going to know it all. Like, I enjoy the fact that I'm never going to know it all. And every moment is another opportunity to learn something new. So don't let that be the obstacle or the challenge that keeps you from accomplishing something. The fact that you got to go learn how to do it.
I'm going to go back to something you said at the very beginning, and that was, her question was, it's really hard to be positive, and you said you're a firm believer in how you say it's going to be, it's how it's going to be. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of people that come to me that are very suicidal, very depressed, and they say they hate their life. So I'm always saying, okay, so let's change that. Mm-hmm. And so people's first instincts are to go, okay, I love my life. And then they get mad, and that's a lie. So I'm always saying, well, that doesn't help either. We're not about saying lies. So you have to find a truth that works for you, that goes in the direction of positivity or where you're moving. And so I will say things like, I could see that in the future my life is getting better and better, or it's becoming easier and easier. Mm-hmm. So that's where I would recommend. So you don't just sit and say, okay, I love my life, everything's good, I'm happy, I'm positive, because that still feels wrong, and so that's pointless. So find a truth that works for you that's moving in that direction. I could see that in the future things are getting better and better. It's coming. Happiness is coming. Okay, another one. So I am a suicide intervention coach. So I run a chat room. So I deal with a lot of teenagers, and I hear this all the time. I'm sad all the time. I don't love myself. I don't deserve love. How do we show others their worth when they haven't seen or felt it? The kids that don't have the supportive upbringing, the family environment. So the people who are convinced that they don't even deserve love because they've never even seen it or felt it before, or they say they haven't. Right. How do you start to instill that truth into them?
Yeah, that's always a tough one, because the family structure ideally should be the first teachers of the children, and they are by default. So if you happen to be in that kind of environment where there is no love expressed, or there is no appreciation of just you as a person, then yeah, you will grow to, believe that you don't have any value or you have no worth. What I do is I just acknowledge people. Like, I make a point, especially with children, and not to, discard any adults or anything like that. But, those first 5 years, first 8 years of a kid's life are so important. So I make a point to go out of my way to acknowledge children or a teenager, to compliment them, to ask them questions, to even if I know the answer to something, I'll go to a kid and ask what they think, because it makes them feel like valuable that they gave an adult an answer. You know what I mean? So little things like that just help to build, focusing on the things that they do well as opposed to the things they don't do well. But I grew up in the opposite fashion. Like, coming from sports, if you made, basketball, if you made 7 out of 10 free throws, you got reprimanded for the 3 that you missed, as opposed to applauded for the 7 that you made. So I'm like, look, I grew up that way. I'm, at this point, I'm happy and healthy, but I'm like, I'm willing to try it a different way. I'm willing to applaud the 7 and not put so much attention on the 3, and encourage them that, of course, they can improve, and not to settle and rest on whatever they've done, but, that they have value outside of anything that they could ever do. That you're worthy, you know what I mean? Like, you just got to tell them. You got to tell them. You got to show them. Your words have to match your actions. You know, we're so contradictory in the things that we say. A long time ago, there was a pastor who put out these CDs. Her name is Paula White, and she identified some dysfunctions that I resonated with. And one was called I Love You, But Get Away From Me. And that's what we do to children. So in one moment, we're like, oh, come here, I love you, you're so cute, I love you, I love you. And then as soon as they do something, get away from me, go to your room, you're driving me crazy, you get on my nerves. Next moment, I love you, I love you, I love you, come here. Next moment, you didn't clean up your room, get out of here, go to. So it's like they grow up with the tug of war of love, hate, and it's chaotic. That's why most of us are so uncomfortable in relationships that when somebody's like genuinely nice to us, we're like, okay, why are you being so nice? When is the bottom going to fall out? Because we've been programmed to believe that at some point, some people are going to turn on us, because that's what our parents did. And our parents weren't doing it to intentionally mess us up. They just doing what they learned from their parents and their parents, and we just been passing on this bunk information generation to generation, not realizing the effects of it. And then if we do realize it, then we're just like, get over it. Don't worry about that. Just let that. It's like, no. If it means something to you, it needs to be dealt with. So that's what I find is really important with children. And I don't have kids, but I treat everybody's kid like they're my own, because I understand it takes a village to raise a child. So I give kids attention like you would have swore they were mine. And it's because I understand what it means for them to know that they have worth and they have value, because they matter. They matter just because they're human beings, not because they can accomplish anything, not because they can do it. That's all icing on the cake. The fact that you're here, alive, and breathing, you have value. And we need to tell them that. I mean, it's pretty black and white to me.
Yeah. A lot of the kids that come into my chat room, they want to say, they want me to agree with them and talk about their parents.
Okay.
And I always say, well, your parents aren't here, not having this dialogue. I'm talking to you. Mm-hmm. So put all aside their flaws, their mistakes, whatever that is. It's you and me now. How can we improve your life? So I'm always saying, it starts with you. So, and this is, there's 12, 14, 18-year-olds, not technically adults yet. Mm-hmm. So I'm always trying to say the earlier the better that you can start to take responsibility for your life. Because we could sit here and I feel like everybody has a plate. Everyone has something that they could talk about and blame their parents on. But at one point, you have to stop and say, okay, it's my choice, it's my life. Let me deal with it. So if you're talking directly to a teenager, how would you start to instill, or how would you point them in the direction of practicing or learning their self-worth?
I would say, first of all, you have to forgive your parents. Because I personally, at this point in my life, believe that nobody's intentionally trying to mess things up. In my 30s, I finally had the courage to sit my mom down and question her about the things that her and my father passed on to me, because I just wanted to know why I was the way I am. And what I found out was they were kids. They were in their 20s, trying to figure it out like you are right now, right? And they were doing the very best that they could. And what the mistake I believe that parents make is they make us feel it's about right and wrong. It's my way, because my way is the right way, and you don't know, you're just a kid. And they're only doing it because they're trying to maintain authority over you, because they care about you and they love you and they don't want to see you hurt themselves. So they project their insecurities and shortcomings onto you, the child or the teenager. And so if you could accept and understand as a basic premise that your parents love you and they're only doing the best they know how. When I accepted that, it released me, because then I said, okay, cool, I'm with that. Now, how do I feel about the things that they taught me? Okay, they cool, they work to a certain point, but I want to try this over here. And I felt free to go do that. So, I'm not telling you to backtalk your parents, to be disrespectful to your parents. Um, what I'm saying is understand that they're human beings just like you and that they love you and they're only doing the very best that they can. They might not know or have the capacity to do any better. They're like, this is what I'm doing, this is what it is, and in this society, until you're of age, which, for whatever reason is 18, you might feel like 13, 14, 15, 16, you know what you're talking about, but for whatever reason it's 18, then it's like, that's when you can go on your own or go find your own place in your own space and things like that. But, I would never say be disrespectful to your parents because your parents are doing the very best that they can. Now, they might not have the ability to show you that you have value because maybe they never got it from their parents. But I'm telling you, and you don't even know me, but the fact that I can, as a complete stranger, tell you that you have worth and you have value should be a start. Like, with all your imperfections, if you don't fit in school with the cool kids, like those are all external conditions that we talked about earlier. Like, because you're breathing and you're alive, you have worth and you have value. You have value because you can brighten up somebody's day. You can go to school tomorrow and see a kid that is not feeling good and just go up and say, hey, how are you? How you doing? I like those shoes that you're wearing, or that's a cool backpack. And instantly you can brighten up somebody's day. So the fact that you have the ability to create that gives you value. And that's not doing nothing else. You didn't have to go score 30 points, get 5 touchdowns. It's just literally you can walk around uplifting and breathing life through your words into people. Where most of us, we breathe death into people. We speak expiring words to them. We talk down to them, we make them feel bad. And it's like, we have that power. You have that power as a teenager, as a child to go, I'm going to breathe life into people today. I'm not going to say anything negative to anybody, especially to myself. So it starts with you. You should go look in the mirror and tell yourself that you have worth. Period. Every single day. Every moment of the day. And if somebody tells you that you're unworthy, you just turn your attention away from them. It's very simple. Negativity can't live unless you give it attention. You can only and I'm not because I want Arielle to, but it's so important that you get this, right? We talked about the law of polarity. Everything has its opposite. So on one end is positivity, one end is negativity. They can't move. They're fixed positions, right? They don't move. In the middle is you. You have the ability to pivot, right? So positive over here, negative over here, you're in the middle. If this is negativity and somebody's picking on you, bullying you, talking to you, putting you down, as long as you look at them and give them attention and respond and react accordingly, then yes, they have power over you. As soon as you turn your attention and ignore, and it might be difficult at first because people are laughing and people are poking fun and all that, but as long as you turn your attention away from it and focus on positivity, this will die. This will die. It can't live without attention. It's like a plant. If we don't give a plant sunlight and water and we ignore the plant will shrivel up and die on its own. If we give it attention, we give it love, we give it water, the plant will flourish, it will have its life cycle, and then it's going to die, even after we give it all that love, because that's what happens. So I'm telling you, you have value. Even if your parents don't say it, you need to start saying it to yourself, and I'm here to tell you first, you have value.
2 things on that. One, I'm a parent, and so I'm always saying, just because you become a parent doesn't mean that you now do everything perfectly and say everything perfectly. So give your parents leeway or grace, be gracious with them, because we don't always know, and we aren't perfect just because we become the parent role. 2, I've used this analogy before, but if you're a $20 bill, say this is a $20 bill, you know it, I see it, and someone crumples you up, stomps on you, calls you names, bullies you. it's ripped, it's crumpled, but does that change the value of the $20 bill? No. So if you can remember that and tell yourself, no, I'm beautiful, I'm worthy, I have value, then what people say or do won't matter. Another example is like a duck in water. The duck doesn't drown, it's swimming in water, but the water just kind of falls off of the duck. So I always say, look at bullying or look at people name calling you. Just let it kind of bounce off of you because you already know your worth inside. And like you're saying, that takes practice every single day, telling yourself, I am worthy, I am beautiful, I am enough. I'm going to skip to a kind of different topic.
Okay.
My friend died by suicide more than 10 years ago, and I feel the guilt. How do I come to terms with this?
Why did they say why they feel guilty?
Mm-mm.
Well, usually guilt is you want to take on some sort of responsibility for what happened, and it's not your responsibility. I think. I don't know the circumstances. I mean, it's unfortunate that your friend chose to do that. Um, but the only thing I can relate it to was when my father passed away. He died of a heart attack when I was a teenager, and I personalized what happened because how dare you die when I need you most? Um, how dare you not eat better? How dare you not stop smoking, drinking? How dare you not exercise so you can be here for me? Because that's your responsibility, is to be here for me. So when he died, I was angry, I was depressed, didn't care about myself, didn't care about, you know what I mean? So, but it was because I personalized the experience, but the experience wasn't mine to personalize. That was my father's. For whatever reason, he chose to do it the way he wanted to do it. Externally, yeah, could he have considered other people and done things differently? But maybe he didn't want to. And that's not for me to tell another human being what they should or shouldn't be doing. So it doesn't benefit you to feel guilty about it, because I'm sure it doesn't feel good. And as long as you're in this constant state of not feeling good, then it's going to be hard for you to move on with your life and grow and take on new experiences. What helped me was, in a room by myself, um, I would take out a picture of my father and talk to him and tell him how I felt about him dying, him leaving, and then I released it. I forgave him, and I forgave myself for treating myself the way I did after he died, because it affected me so much that I, in essence, stopped living. Didn't care about myself, and it was because I was stuck in the past and what could have been, what should have been, and not knowing that I had a whole lot of life in front of me left. So that's what helped me, was taking out a picture, speaking to the picture, and I cursed my father out. I would have never talked to my dad that way in real life, but it was freeing. It was allowing me to release those emotions, and then after I said all that, it was in love, and I told him I love him and I miss him, and please keep your eye on me and come to me in my dreams and help me every way you can, because I need it. But all that anger, all that guilt, all that animosity, anxiety, stress, depression, it's going to keep you in a state that you don't want to be in. It's not going to allow you to live. So I implore you to put it down. And for me, that was one way that I could release it.
I agree. We can't rewind history. So the more you continue to talk about it, the more you're bringing the history into your present life. And so I would say sit down and forgive yourself. Maybe look at a picture of you or look in the mirror of you and be like, okay, that it is what it is. That happened 10 years ago. I forgive you for not being there. I forgive you for not listening. Whatever it is that you think you didn't do enough, now is the time to forgive you. And that just comes with practice and talking to yourself. And I would agree. Quiet room by yourself, no distractions. Truly just listen, speak to yourself. We are wrapping up. My favorite thing to do is lead our own with a mantra. affirmation. I have my favorite, which I can share first.
Sure.
You have yours. So your favorite mantra that you use often. Mine is, I am happy, healthy, and whole, and there is no hole in my soul.
Mm.
That is what I heard a year ago, and I loved it for two reasons. It made me smile, just because there was a play of words there. And when I was going through my pain, I really felt like something was missing, that I needed someone or something else. And so for me, that really worked well because there is no hole, as in I am complete, and everything I need is right here within myself. So once again, I am happy, healthy, and whole, and there is no hole in my soul. I would say this so many times throughout the day, and every time I would say it, I would truly try to feel what it would feel like to have no hole. So it constantly like, I am happy, healthy, and whole, and I have no hole in my soul. Yes. So that's my favorite. You can steal it, share it.
I don't think I don't have one of those.
One of those?
I mean, not something that's so catchy as yours.
I have enough. Right.
Yeah, that's it. Like literally, that's mine. It's like I am enough. You are enough. Because for a long time I didn't think I was, and so that's if I can leave you guys with anything, it's a little homework assignment. And I promise, if she ever asks me to come back, I'll come back and you did the assignment. We can I'll give you another one. But literally, it's I took out a piece of paper and I wrote down what I thought my value was as a human being, without judgment. And it was ugly when I first wrote it because I didn't think I had very much value. Relationships that didn't work, jobs that I didn't get, dreams that I had that I felt weren't achieved, and my value was tied into all of those things. If I had accomplished those things, then I'm valuable because that's what society tells you. By a certain age, you should have accomplished this. By this age, you should have that. By that age, you should be married with some kids. You should need to buy a house. By this age, right? So that's what my value was initially. And then I said, okay, I see that. Now, what do I want my value to be? And what I wrote on that side was, I want to be a better friend. I want to be a better brother. I want to be a better son. I want to be a better boyfriend when I'm in a relationship. Like all of it became about things that I could control. And I tore that one half of paper that all the things that I thought were valuable were external, rolled it up, threw it in the trash. Kept the one side that was just things that I could control. And every day I decided to work on one thing. So if it was to be a better communicator, to be a better, and whatever, I went and got a book, I went and watched a video, I went to spoke to somebody, I got mentored, I just went and got information to develop the muscle for the things that I decided were valuable to me about me, not what somebody else thought, not what society thought, not the kind of car that I just, what I mean? And not that you can't have those things. If you think those things are fun and enjoyable, cool, but not because it's going to make me more worthy because I have a Bentley as opposed to a Pinto. It's like, no, you're valuable either way. So that's my homework assignment for you guys is take out a piece of paper and write down what you think your value is. And if you don't know, feel free to ask family members or friends, like just go up to them and go, let me ask you a question. What do you think is valuable about it? And then look at it. Which qualities do you want to keep? Oh, you're dependable. You're reliable. You keep your words. Like, okay, yeah, I like those. You wear nice clothes. Like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that one out because that's fleeting. But that's my mantra or confirmation. It's not even an affirmation. I confirm to myself constantly that I am enough. As an actor, you get told no a lot. Okay, There's a lot of rejection in entertainment, and if I allowed those things, which I initially did when I first started, those things get to you. And it's like, what's wrong with me? How come, why this person and not me? And I'm hating on this person because they got the job and I didn't, and I'm better than them. And, so, but at some point I realized that I'm enough. And it's not to be taken personal. A great book is The Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz. One of the agreements is never take anything personal, because it's not. People have preferences. They're choosing one thing over the other. It's not, I'm choosing this because I hate you. I just would rather do this. So it's really comes down to you defining and determining what you think your value is outside of external conditions. So please take out a piece of paper. It becomes real when you write it out, right? You take it out of your head and you put it on paper. Now you have to look at it because you wrote it. And now it's a living, breathing thing. And tear off the one half that of things that you don't like, and then focus on those things that you do want to keep about yourself, and then go learn more about it. And then we're going to create momentum to send you in a direction that you can be proud of.
I like it. So maybe a mantra could be, each day I am becoming a better and better version of myself.
There you go.
Or I am becoming more and more aware of my value.
Yeah, becoming, because that's something that you can buy into. It's a true statement.
Exactly. Yeah. Again, back to what makes you feel good, a truth that makes you feel good, that resonates within you. Again, guys, this is Brooklyn.
Hey.
Where can people connect with you?
Facebook, Brooklyn Mclinn. Twitter, Brooklyn Mclinn, BROOKLYN MCLINN. Instagram, Brooklyn Mclinn. Yeah, I'm not hard to find. So
yeah, that sounds easy.
Yeah, I have a life strategy meetup group. The email is life strategy meetup group, LIFESTRATEGY meetup, MEETUP, all one word, life strategy meetup group at gmail.com. You can get added to the email list. I send out commentary, blogs. I blog too, Brooklyn. Everything is Brooklyn Mclinn.
Do you do coaching?
Yes, I do coaching, Skype, or through email. What else?
How about this? Last question.
Yeah.
What project are we going to see you on next?
Film. I shot a film called Sister Code with Amber Rose and Eva Pickford, top model.
Okay.
And then, like I said earlier, I'll be on the TV show Shameless. That comes on Showtime, and probably Parenthood, because I think the last season is this year, so hopefully they'll bring me back as a goodbye.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. That is good night, and I will see you all next week. Have a good evening.